Well, we had a power outage. I don't know how many of you guys are gonna come back for this, but I will continue operating as if nothing has happened. Very dumb, very dumb. Not a huge fan of a power outage, but I did warn at the beginning of the stream that that would be the case. So let me pull everything back up how I had it. And then we will maybe be able to just cook a little bit. Leo Revenge, yeah, the power outage. He's gonna turn off the internet. I have the router in here. I have the router. I turn off the internet in this house. But yeah, we had a power outage. It sucks, but it is what it is, and we'll live. I don't remember what I was saying last, but I'm just gonna cut. I'm just gonna download this as the one video and cut it in half and put it together. But I'm gonna try to wrap this up and get through it all before that happens again, because I did not think that that would happen a second time. But we're gonna just have to operate as if that didn't happen. So Psychic Chorus. So Psychic Chorus, right? We're on Psychic Chorus now. Pretty good. Pretty good. I was in such an absolute fucking flow state. And I lost it now. I totally lost it. Psychic Chorus is solid. Leo was salty. He was placed today. Yeah. He really pulled one over on me. I hope the Twitch integration, the Streamlabs or whatever it is, just puts the chat box back on. Psychic Course is alright. I can try to pull chat back. Fred, do Psychic Course to heal that Leo got you. I got zapped. My fucking lights here are going crazy too. I gotta fix that. Fade. There you go. Psychic Chorus is fine. I'm gonna put Psychic Chorus like somewhere in the probably in the A-ish tier. I think Psychic Chorus is fine. I don't think Psychic Chorus is like super overwhelming. Actually, you know what? This season, Psychic Chorus is pretty strong. Psychic Chorus is pretty strong this season, specifically because you can pair it with the Mogera boost, and it just makes your guys like way harder to kill. Same reason that Fire Dan is seeing a little boost in play this season. Shin Godzilla, this guy is like, he basically does nothing. He goes with the Batra Larva. I would put him even under Batra Larva. This guy is like a guaranteed evolution. He's gonna go like right over here. Just a pretty solid, just guaranteed guy. Having Power Rangers alive is crazy. Yeah, that sucked. I'm not a huge fan of that. But Shin is alright. Shin is at least like a low A character. At least. I mean, he's fine. He's not like the best anymore. Chatbox, can you show up, please? I want to see everything on my one screen. Thank you very much. Yeah, Shin Godzilla is just fine. He is seeing a lot of play this meta because specifically of the Shinden is everywhere. Mogera is flying a little bit. Mothra is in the air. So there are a lot of decent air units around that he is going to benefit from. But overall, Shin Godzilla he's just not an optimal pick at all. I mean, he's had so many buffs over the years, and nothing has really been able to make him stick. So, oh, there's the chat box. You just want to do his AoE attack, and if he's not doing his AoE attack, you might as well have just burned that energy out. Doesn't matter. All right, S tier. Space Godzilla. Space Godzilla has a rented boost this season. Phenomenal. I think he got a, did he get a buff recently as well? I believe he also got a boost recently. English, I have to go back to the buff and nerf page because of the power outage. He, I believe, got some kind of adjustment at some point not too long ago. Maybe maybe a while ago. I don't remember. But moral story is he's good. His crystals coming in every few seconds, giving a damage boost is really solid. The crystals being something to block attackers, also really solid. In the age of AoE, the crystals are in the age AoE, he's suffering from success. He's everywhere. He's gonna suffer when like GMK shows up and a big AoE guy comes up. He's really good. I've maintained for the last few seasons that he is really good. With this rented levels, he's even better. He is a solid S tier pick this season, and Fuku is not far behind him either. Super X has fallen pretty far this season as well. Super X just does not have the health, and it has really long range, but it's only going to hit like one of the crystals before the other crystal makes contact, so it's not killing both the crystals. If you leave it inside of a push, sure, but it's going to catch up, and then Fuku Godzilla has chain lightning that will hop 2 targets, and it's not like... It's kind of indiscriminate on who it's hopping to, so if the Super X is just relatively close, it's going to get hit. It's getting cooked alive this season. It is not very strong. Crystal Hook can be hard to destroy, but GMK and others AoE destroys. Basically, it looks like a drug dealer, which is funny because he gives off buff through crystals, if you know what I mean. I do know what you mean. Someone was asking about Ultraman earlier. Ultraman also kind of sucks this season, I gotta say. Ultraman is, like, decent. He's not, like, super great. He's stun immune, but there's not a lot of stun going around aside from, like, Gigan. He has piercing, so he can hit the crystals. And, you know, Mogera's going to want characters grouped up together, so he is definitely going to be able to, you know, benefit from that. But he is not super strong. He's going to stay in the B tier. I wish they would revert his nerfs from last year. Then he'd probably move into A, but Ultraman is just fine. He's just fine. Trains are going into the S tier. The trains are just an overall phenomenal pick. You can drop them on anyone from any part of the map. You pair them with Kiryu, and you basically have a one-turn KO. Trains are phenomenal. There's not much I need to really be saying about the trains. And you'll excuse me if I'm going really fast through this. I'm trying to make it through as much as I can before the next fucking power outage. I'm putting Zeton in the D tier right behind Gigan. I love Zeton so fucking much. Zeton's kind of sucks, though. The AoE is going to kill him and hit your leader. He can't move anywhere. He's just super expensive, so he is just not it. I placed him about in this area last season as well, and this is probably just where he's going to stay forever because they're never going to buff him. Mephiles, I want to make... I want to put Mephiles in the D tier, but I feel like that's kind of disrespectful to Mephiles. I'm going to put him, like, right over here. He's, like, just marginally better than these goobers. He's a little overpriced for what he does. I wish he was like a 4 cost. I think at 4 cost, Mephiles would be really solid, but at 6 cost, it's laughable. He's unusable. Final Wars Godzilla is definitely an S+ character for sure. I definitely think that GMK is better than him this season in particular, but Final Wars Godzilla is just super strong in general. He actually maybe falls off a little bit because of Kiryu Kai, but there's not really a ton of Kiryu Kais running around. But the more that Kiryu Kais get leveled up, he will begin to drop because he is above that 6 cost threshold. He is 7 cost. Ava 01 is also not very great. She's going into the C tier. You'd think a character that's immune to explosions would be really good in this meta, considering the Fuku crystals are explosions and she has piercing, but she just isn't it. She has to retarget and pivot, and it just takes too damn long. It's not great at all. I am not a big fan. I love her to death. I have a huge Ava statue behind me. She deserves to be meta. She's my queen. She is dog shit right now, unfortunately. Now, we're going to get a few S+ tier units here, fellas. Fourth Angel, still kicking, still phenomenal as always. Absolute Giga Chat, especially in this meta. The crystals do kind of fuck him up a little bit, but if he's close enough to those, you know, to your grouped up units that are sitting around Mogera getting that boost, and he explodes, God forbid that Mogera boost goes away because he's going to just do his thing, and he's going to fuck him up. He is a little bit marginally weaker now because of the Mogera help. Still really strong. Opposite end of the spectrum, this guy's dog shit still. Putting him behind Kong, and we're moving on. You think you can't say any longer? See you later? Oh, we'll see you later. All right, S+, or I'll put him in S this season. Is GMK? GMK this season is so good. He's basically the Fuku counter. He's hitting massive AoE. He's putting the debuff on. He's really solid. GMK this season, really, really solid. Next season, he will go behind Destroyer probably, but this season particularly, he's cleaning house. Absolutely cleaning house. He is a phenomenal character to have. I believe in my heart of hearts that this character is S plus this season, and it is going to be the 10th Angel. I think the 10th Angel this season is better than the 4th Angel. He's completely immune to the crystals. He has piercing, so he's going to hit a bunch of units if they're grouped together with Mogera. You think GMK is S plus this season? I'll put him at S plus. He's like right here. This is fair. These two characters right here are in S plus this season solely because they counter Fuku super, super well, and Mogera super, super well. What's the counter for the power outages? 1 during stream, 1 right before stream. So 2. 2. So hopefully we have an hour and a half before the next one. But yeah, these two super counter the meta between the AoE and the piercing. The 10th Angel is completely immune to the explosions. GMK is shooting down the crystals before they get to them, and then just being able, having guys grouped up is not great when there's really good AoE guys. They're really good at AoE. Not a great character as well. Pretty dog water right now is Mari, Unit 08. Not super great. She really hasn't had her time in the day. I wanted her to be really good. But what counters them? Mothra and GMK, I guess. And yet to be seen unit. Where was I? Mari's not that good. I thought she would be better, but we're moving away from a long-range meta. She's falling off. She was never super strong to begin with, and now that we're moving away from long range, not great. Another unit that has fallen off pretty hard is Unit 08. She is kind of just getting spit roasted. As soon as she now transforms, she is getting cooked. I would put her at the top of the V. He means what counters the power outages. Oh, what counters the power outages? The energy base, of course. Unit 0 is going to get high C tier. She's just not... She's not hitting the way she used to hit either. I mean, she gets the 70% damage boost. She can get the Mogera boost. And it's just like, I don't know. If she gets buffed, that's going to be great. But the Ava units have just completely fallen out of favor. They've just been completely power crept out on almost like every metric. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. She just gets power crept constantly. And speaking of power crept constantly, these goobers are also dog water. This is not a very good evolution unit. This unit is only marginally better than like Mephilas at this point. And that sucks. I love the Evangelion units. They all have such unique designs, and they like not just visually but like mechanically in the game, all super unique, and they're dog shit. They are just not doing great right now, which sucks because I'm a big fan. But in fixed I think they do pretty decent, but in ranked they just gotta get eaten alive. Now, a good unit. Kamen Rider. I fucking love Kamen Rider. Benefits from the Mogera buff. He drops down does an AoE, pushes characters away, then he just starts doing his judo chops pretty quickly. He's really good. I feel like he's like a lesser version of Gigan Final Wars. I love Kamen Rider. He fucking rules. There's not a ton I need to really say about him other than like he's sick. If you got him, you can use him. I love using Kamen Rider. I think he's super helpful. Admin 1 runs a mean Kamen Rider. It's super sick. I like him a lot. His intro is cool. His kit is really cool. Everything about Kamen Rider is cool. And he is very strong. He benefits a lot in this meta. And he counters flyers. Mothra, one of the best characters in the game, is a flyer. She actually, something like this, but Mothra's a flyer. She's going to get countered. For 10th Angel, going to get countered by Kamen Rider. He's super great. I love him. Kumo Augment sucks. Kumo Augment actually might be like dead. He's just like almost completely dead on arrival now. He is virtually useless. He may work for you, maybe not really. He has been completely gutted. He is an absolute shell of his former self. There's not much to say about Kumo Augment, and he literally went from number 1 spot to maybe one of the worst characters we have. Some would say it's deserved. Mega Godzilla 1974 is a solid B tier unit. He's just all right. He is like just fine. He takes a little bit too long with that evolution, or not the evolution, with the transformation, but he honestly has pretty decent enough stats. I like him a lot. But what the fuck am I looking at? We've been hit by lightning twice. This is my struck by lightning tier list. But he's pretty good. I'm actually gonna put him above Ultraman. I think that's fine. I would put Ultraman lower than this. Actually, I would put Ultraman like this. This seems like fair. Maybe something like this seems fair. Please bump kids up above Markalite. This is a disgrace. There you go. Chibi fucking rules. I love Chibi Godzilla. He's going in the B tier. He's at least going like right here, man. I love Chibi Godzilla. After his boost, he's been super fun. But I actually don't even think he's that super good. I think he's probably like something closer to like this. He's all right. If you know, I mean, you could make him an S++ tier, but Chibi's just fine. Him and Giant Octopus kind of now fill the same role, so you can put them together, but you don't really need either of them when you have either the Kamacuras or Shitnit. So it's a ban, right? You ban me from the server, I'll hand it off to Spence. This King Ghidorah. Oh, my Discord is also busted. What the hell? I try to like log on Discord and it doesn't fucking work. This King Ghidorah is also like super falling off. I would maybe put this King Ghidorah like near the top of B. He's just like all right. I don't even think the Mogera is better than the Mechagodzilla. Probably something like that. The King of the Monsters Ghidorah has a lot of promise, and if you have them super upgraded, I'm sure they work fine for you. But just they're not hitting in the way that they used to. Now, this Mothra is really fucking good. I'm gonna put her like up here. Love this Mothra 2019. She's phenomenal. She looks great. Model's great. The stun immunity that she gives is awesome, but there's not a lot of stun going on in the meta right now, so it's whatever. She has really long range, and she's just slow on every hit, so she's slowing at extremely long range, which is fine, and obviously she's a flyer. She also refunds you 2 energy when she dies, so she costs 6 to deploy. She gives you 2 when she dies. She's effectively a 4-cost unit. I like her a lot. I'm keeping her in the S tier. I think she was S tier last season too. I don't rightfully remember. Kaiser Ghidorah sucks. I'm sorry. I know we have some Kaiser Ghidorah enjoyers in the chat. Kaiser sucks, and Monster X isn't really much fucking better. Been getting into Ultra more lately, disappointed. All of them have power crept, albeit Naranga is probably your favorite. Shin Ultra Kaiju, you're not entirely disappointed. Yeah, they've really went hard on power creeping all the Shin units because probably of the fan backlash. But I don't know who I just placed here. These 2 goobers, they suck. I like him more than I like him. You can probably debate me on where this guy actually places, probably like maybe up here. But I think they both suck. I am not like a huge fan of them at all. G99 I also think sucks. I still think even with his changes from last season where he like got it like the time to trigger the fire is like less or whatever, he's still not super great. I would maybe put him here. Broedem 36 G9 and the Kaiser, the PvP scene is so harsh. I want you to slowly and calmly place it freezing Sunday into S+. As a Kai enjoyer with high levels, I'm in fact not enjoying, sadly. Megalon buff, I think he does not go above A tier. I actually really do like Megalon a lot. Megalon this season with his boost, I think he's like something like up here-ish. Like he is decent this season because of the boost that he gets in the levels. And then what was the buff that he got? He got an increase to HP and he got the increase to attack speed. He's pretty good. He is consistently debuffing units. He has a minor AoE. And G99 goes over Kaiser for you. Oh, you know what? That's valid. I'll do that for you. You know what? I'll do that. Fuck him. Megalon is just a consistent debuffer. He negates heals in overtime because he's not going to let your opponent heal on like half the board. He is an overall solid pick for 3. You give him the Mogera buff. He's really good. He fits perfectly into like the low cost effective like mill decks that we got. He's good. I like Megalon. I think he is halfway decent. He'll probably drop in ranking next season once his levels aren't boosted, but he is at this moment of time pretty solid character. Giga Chad Turtle, also very good, very strong character. Probably somewhere like right here in the A. He's pretty decent. I like him a lot. Not much really bad things to say about Gamera. He hits pretty hard and he moves the flyers away. And we got some pretty decent flyers in the A and or in the S plus, and A. Megalon just became a debuff spammer this season. Stuff like -1 doesn't give a shit about that healing nullification. Oh yeah, -1 doesn't give a fuck. She didn't realize new stream started. Whoops. Welcome back, Landshark. But Gamera is good because he hard counters a lot of some of the good characters that we have. Gamera is really solid. I like him a lot. Gauss has fallen off as well, mostly because of the AoE, like we've talked about. There's just a lot of AoE. I think maybe for 3, Gauss probably would be fire. Maybe they got to increase his stats a little bit. I don't know. But I think he's a little too weak for 4 cost. Getting the 5 Gauss is still pretty good, but like I said, we're in a meta with AoE. I mean, look at the top right here. AoE, 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 AoE. No, not, maybe AoE. AoE, AoE. Good against flyers. AoE. Kind of an AoE. AoE against flyers. And we still have yet to talk about these guys who would just absolutely fucking annihilate them in one shot, so. Mothra, Rainbow Mothra. I will put Rainbow Mothra into the S tier. Rainbow Mothra is extremely slept on. Giving your characters a invulnerable is so fucking good. It does not stack with the unblockables that the Shinden has. But giving Mogera a 1 hit of invincibility, really fucking good. Giving Gigan 04 1 hit of invincibility, really fucking good. Alright, here's the question. Has Rainbow Mothra ever actually been worth using out of uber specialized meme decks? Yes. I think Rainbow Mothra is extremely viable. Place Rainbow Mothra with... I just burped. Play with Ginza, and you make Ginza invulnerable until something hits it once. That's a really good failsafe. You can give it in 1 hit of invulnerable to your leader. That's a really good failsafe. Mogera teams, you want to kind of have your guys be compact so that they all get the Mogera boost. Put Rainbow Mothra on top of the Mogera boost, and you will give all of your guys invulnerability. You have them all grouped up. Rainbow Mothra, really good. You have your guys walking through London. Place Rainbow Mothra, gain invulnerability. -1 explodes. Guess what happens? You don't lose any health. Rainbow Mothra stops Kiryu's leader ability. Correct. Rainbow Mothra is so good. She or he, I don't know what he is. I think it's a he, is incredibly slept on. Rainbow Mothra is very good. Does this list count leaders? No, it does not count leaders. It does not. We will do a leader list separate at another time. Waka Godzilla is decent. Waka Godzilla has kind of fallen off. I would put him in the A tier this season. You really want to use him against some of the bigger targets like Earth or Destroya. But we don't really need him. I got a bloody nose? No. We don't really need Waka anymore. Because we're moving away from this high cost meta. We don't really need a dedicated, we're going to try to, do maximum damage against the 1 cost. He's still really good. I don't think Waka is S tier. I think if you have him at a really, really high level, he probably is super useful. I haven't seen too many of them running around. I haven't really had a problem with any of them. I'm keeping him in the A, but Waka is definitely one that I have on my eyes on. He for sure is. He is only going to. I think Waka's only going to go up. Waka suffers and nobody having peace. I feel like he'd be high level. Just let my boy Waka send Earth back to Africa. Yeah, Admin 1 has a really high level Waka, and it is scary. But at the moment, that's not really the norm. But he's good. He's good. I think his potential is yet to be seen. And then Super Mecha Godzilla is also, I think, like a halfway decent character. He also just needs the levels on him because he has AoE. He's going to stop the crystals. He has extremely long range. He's got the slow. He's got the on-entry effect. He's good. Super Mecha Godzilla is a good card. Not a lot of people have him leveled. He just was released. Mine is only like level 5 or 6 or something like that. In time, Super Mecha Godzilla will get more wide usability, solid stat line, solid ability pools, or anything everyone doesn't have a high level of. I actually have no idea. Probably not. I think he's got everything to pretty close to high. Super Mecha Godzilla is great. I'm a big fan of him. I will continue to be a big fan of him, and that just is how it is. He's good. He will continue to be good and prove himself with the more levels that he has. This version of 1954 Godzilla, I don't think is particularly good at the moment. He is immune to on-death explosions, and he is immune to like status effects like stun and stuff like that. So you would think that he would be super used in this current meta because of the I'll move him up. He would be halfway decent in this current meta because he is immune to stuff like the Fuku crystals count as on-death effects. He's immune to stun from like the Gigan. He has an AoE, but he doesn't have the attack speed. He has a good health pool, but he doesn't have the speed that you would need to clear a big push, especially when the Mogera puts the defense up. He is going to resist the crystals. He's going to resist the Gigan. But other than that, he is not, in my opinion, worth running. Now, this back half of characters, all of them here are kind of fucking wicked. Maybe Orga's the worst of the bunch, but he's still pretty good. Oh my god. Okay. Shinden, by far, one of the best units in the game, for sure. The distraction is phenomenal. 2 invulnerabilities is phenomenal. Does a little bit of damage here and there. Shinden is great. I don't think I have to explain to you guys how good of a unit this is. It's basically an auto include in every single deck. -1 Godzilla. Phenomenal still. So fucking strong. I use -1 Godzilla pretty much in every deck. He's so good. He performs super well anywhere that there's water on New York and London and Tokyo. I mean, they all got water, of course. He just rips up enemies. Even with the Mogera boost, he does not give a shit. He just fucking comes in like a bat out of hell, swings his tail around. You know what I'm saying? He's swinging his tail around, and he's just fucking murdering everything. He is so strong. That explosion is phenomenal. He is suffering because the Fuku Godzillas will trigger him out of the water when the crystals pass over him. Other than that, he's still good to go. He is still good to go. So if you can do something about those crystals, you're solid. Ginza Godzilla, I don't think is super busted. I think Ginza -1 is alright. Being able to apply pressure from the backside of the map is really strong. Your opponent, once they see a Ginza, is probably going to start trying to attack into the Ginza, and that is going to really fuck them up because they don't want to play into Ginza. They kind of just want to keep playing like normal, let Ginza do his thing. They'll eventually work their way over to him. But if they start trying to target him, you're going to be able to hard counter him. Ginza provides some very interesting and different play patterns into the game. He is not particularly meta. If you have invested in him, I think you're going to get a lot of mileage out of him. I think he is an exceptional unit. I think he is fun, but he obviously is not in an optimal deck list. He is 7 cost. He's a little hard to use. As Pan said, Ginza is not plug and play at all. The regular -1, for sure plug and play. All of the S+ characters are going to be plug and play. You can just put them in your deck and forget about them. They are almost auto includes all the time. Love Ginza. He's not a auto include. Kiryu Hat. Kiryu Hat is going to go to the top of the S tier. He is the reason that Earth and Destroyer are not in the S+ tier. Kiryu Hat, just the threat of Kiryu Hat existing is enough to make people not want to run 7 costs or higher. I said it a million times previously in the other stream that now I have to kind of clip them together. We are moving away from a high-cost meta. We went from having Earths and Destroyers who were just powerhouses that were just doing incredible things to now Mogera that is buffing 6 costs and lower, And Kiryu Hat that is getting a damage boost at 7 costs, and if there's a 7 cost or higher on the enemy side, he gets a damage boost. He's just a deterrent for anything 7 cost or higher. He is so good. He was busted last season too, and I think he kind of fell under people's radar. He's really good. The threat of him just existing is really good. People, when they get more levels on him, he is going to start becoming... He might not come back into every deck, but as soon as we get a really overtuned 7 cost unit or higher, I guarantee you people start putting Kiryu Hat in their deck to make sure they have a counter for whatever 7 cost or higher there is. Fun fact, if you place Space Godzilla tile behind, specifically on the far right, have him produce an infinite amount of crystals, yeah, if you put him behind Ginza. But Kiryu Hat pretty much negates the chances that your opponent is going to want to be playing some of these higher costing monsters because they're going to get super hard countered. Orga is fun. Orga is just like a fun, like, tanky character. I don't really get a lot of value out of him. I'm sorry, 99 Orga. I know you love him. Maybe you can give me a better argument for why he is better. But at the moment, I am having a difficult time seeing why I would run Orga over something like Space Godzilla Fuku or regular Space Godzilla or like GMK. He can hit the air. He does have an on-entry slow effect, and he does get to revive, and I think he gets a damage boost when he revives. He revives at 50% health. The more levels you have on him, the better, so I'm probably just missing levels, but yeah, like SKG, like you said, he's just a new meat shield. He's probably the best meat shield out of the bunch, but he's not meta. We don't need meat shields in the meta. We need, like, really cohesive gameplay and tactics. He's fine. If you have him at a really high level, he's probably super usable. He's just not, obviously, an optimal pick. I don't think that Orga is the way you're going to want to go with team building. Unless you really love Orga, you can build a team around him. Put him on whatever team you want. He's a great plug-and-play. Then Orga, come on, man. Orga S+. I cannot put him in S+, man. I love you. I'm not putting him in S+. Main Org is the fact that Manila can kick his ass. Yeah, I mean, he's fun. He's great. I love him. I think he's a great new fun addition to the game. I just do not think he is like an optimal slot in my deck. Like, I'm never like, oh boy, can't wait to use Orga today. But maybe mine's just a low level, and I don't know. Minus 29 right now. It's so crazy. Yeah, well, you gotta let me know when you get that baby to 30. I'm not taking any pointers from a less than level 30 Orga enjoyer. Please, come on. All right, guys. Serious faces. Drink of water. These are the two best fucking units in the game. No, it's not even a question. Mogera we'll start with first. It's not even a question. It is not even a question that Mogera is an auto-include this season. He'll probably be an auto-include for the next few seasons if you level him up enough. Even if you don't level him up enough. He is so good. He is so good. He flies, so for a while he's immune to, like, you know, GD9s or Geigen 04, stuff like that. That'll be on the ground trying to get him. He has extremely long range. He has an extremely fast attack. It's like, what, 1.9 seconds, 1.8 seconds, something like that. He gives the damage boost a 30%, or I'm sorry, not damage, just 30% defense boost every, what, like 8, 10 seconds or whatever it is. He survives way longer than he should be, and he is letting other characters survive also way longer than they should be. I have had my Mogera and my Bylante fighting level 30 plus Earths for like 2 or 3 extra hits more than they should. The damage negation is on the finest of crack. Mogera is so fucking busted. He is so good. Magenshin will be a fun combo. May throw Rainbow Mothra in there as well. It's insane. Mogera is so cracked out. It's not even funny. With the boosted levels, it's ridiculous. I'm running a level 20 Mogera, and he is just running everything over. Like Pan said, you put Psychic Cores down on him, and he's a defense boost to everything in his circle, and you're healing them. It's ridiculous. It is so strong. It is so unbelievably strong. It is not even funny. It is so dumb. It is so dumb. The next character, and the final one for the night, is Fukuoka's Space Godzilla, who I believe also at this fucking point in time is one of the best units in the game. With the rented levels, I think next season he's going to drop off. I think Mogera will stay on for a really long time. I think Fuku is only going to come back here and there. He might be a mainstay. He might not be. But this season with the rented levels, he's definitely an S+ fucking tier. You pair him with Mogera, it's fucking over. You put him in the water and you just let him slowly waltz up the map every, 7 or 8 seconds. He spawns 2 crystals. He's 6 cost. He gets the Mogera buff. He avoids the, release Kumo Mog. Release Kumo Augment is the best unit that's ever come to this game. Mog is a very, very close second. You basically get a Shinden every 8 seconds with Fukuoka. Shinden is 2 cost and gets 2 free hits to distract your enemy. The crystals basically do the same thing. You basically spawn a Shinden every 8 seconds with the crystals. You can keep enemies at bay. You can keep them targeting those crystals on the opposite side of the map, which gives... your opponent is building a push, but you're also building your push. You can use it to activate -1s who are in the water. You can stop Mothra Leos with it. You can stop most everything with it. If characters aren't paying attention to those crystals, they're going to do a lot of damage. They count as on-death explosions. It's crazy. He has a AoE. It only hits up to 3. It's a chain lightning, and I don't even think it works right where it's supposed to do like 100% damage and 75% damage and 50% damage. I don't think it works right. But the chain lightning reaches a lot farther than you would think. You don't need the units to be like right on top of each other with Fukuoka. You just need them to kind of be like kind of in similar areas, and the chain lightning will work. You can have him chain lightning the enemy leader. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. The crystals and the chain lightning will clean up Shinden. It's insane. It is insane. This is the tier list for this season. All these guys are super strong. I'm a huge fan of Mogera. I'm a huge fan of Fukuoka Space Godzilla. I want to see what March's characters bring before I dedicate like 10 GMATs into Mogera. I think Mogera is a phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal character. Even without this boost of levels, he's still going to be in the S+ tier, probably also at the top. Alright, but that's what I got for you guys tonight. The power outage has delayed this a little bit. I have to get to my D&D. I'm going to post this image in my Discord, so if you want to see this image, you can go to my Discord, and it'll be there. Thank you guys so much for watching and bearing through the lightning storm, or not lightning storm, whatever the hell is going on out there, power outage, but I greatly appreciate it. I will, merge this video with the previous one, and we will just have a very consistent one stream video for you guys to watch, but this is what I think of the tier lists. Let me know if I cooked or if I'm washed. I will catch you all on the next one. Bye-bye.